surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Yeah, well, as you guys know, Lamar and I have an agreement. We handle business kind of in-house internally, as you all know. That worked well for us the last time, and we will continue to have that policy moving forward. Have spoken to Lamar about a lot of different things over the last month. He's been very engaged. As I said, he was a big value to us in the coaching search. But we'll continue those conversations moving forward.
Yeah, did it work well the last time? I mean,
Lamar Jackson's Baltimore Ravens.
he did eventually get it done. I will agree with that. Look, it's awkward. By the way, good morning. It's Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. We got a lot to do on the program today. That was Eric DeCosta, courtesy of the Ravens, this morning, speaking at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. And
You feel better, right?
it's weird, right? As I keep oh my gosh, hello. Very professional. As I keep trying to say, I have no reason to think this ends in any other way. But there's also no reason for it to still be going on right now. And that's the tricky part. The tricky part is you are desperate for there to be. Good. If that's the way they want to do business, good for them for keeping it all tight-lipped. To be fair, almost never during negotiations is it the team that's leaking something unless they are preparing you for the inevitability of we know we're not getting this done and we want to tell the story before someone else tells the story. We want to say, here's what we want the story to be of why it is that this guy's not going to be signing with us. It's almost always from the agent, so you're not going to get that, obviously, from Lamar's side. And the Ravens are historically tight-lipped in these situations. They leak almost nothing. Is that to their benefit? Like, there's a lot of things the Ravens have done over the years that we can ask, is it to their benefit? For a long time, we believed that the compensatory draft pick formula was to their benefit. And then at some point, we sort of sat down and started looking at the compensatory draft picks, and we're like,
We get one extra player every year.
yeah,
like
every
that.
now and then there's one that, like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, sure, right, that was a good one. I don't know if it's to their benefit or not. I don't. But it is their right to do business that way. And if Eric DeCosta's being honest that, like, Lamar was involved in the coaching search and Lamar is engaged and all that, then that sounds promising. But is it affecting your ability to do business? And that's the part that he won't be honest about. And I understand, and I'm not mad at him. He would never honestly tell you, hey, not knowing exactly how this is maybe going to impact exactly how much money we have to spend. Now, Eric DeCosta might say, but you guys, let's be fair, we're probably not going to be spending it the way that you might want us to. But apparently at some point during the press conference today, he did add that, this is from Gianna Hahn, who, of course, covers the Ravens for the Banner. They've given Tyler Linderbaum a market-setting deal. In quotes. Oh, you have it? Okay.
I think
sure.
so, yeah.
Sure. Again, courtesy of the Ravens. This is from Eric DeCosta today. As Jesse Minter is scheduled to chat with the media in like an hour or so. But Eric DeCosta, there's definitely going to be more newsworthiness from an Eric DeCosta, or you would think from an Eric DeCosta press conference than Jesse Minter. Here you go.
First of all, Tyler's a guy that I have tremendous respect for. Obviously he's proven to be, in my opinion, the best center in the league. We've been having conversations. We've had conversations since the end of the season. And at this point in time, we've made him a market-setting deal, proposal, offer, and hopefully we can get something done with him between now and the start of the new league year. You know,
if that's the case, then the Lamar Jackson negotiations aren't impacting Tyler Linderbaum. If they're offering more. Now, again, to be fair, it might be two things are true. It might be the Ravens have offered him the biggest deal that a center's ever gotten. But they also know that there's another team that's offering him more than that. And maybe they don't even want to offer that type of money, whether or not they knew the Lamar Jackson circumstances. But there's room in here for multiple things to be true. There is room within this conversation for there to be multiple truths. And I hope the Ravens are still walking towards getting a deal. I know there was something that went around yesterday that maybe Ian Rappaport told Greg Rosenthal that the Ravens are having a difficult time negotiating with Tyler Linderbaum's agent. Like, he's just not responding to them, which might mean that he knows there's a bigger deal. As I keep trying, tampering, we can laugh about that word. Everyone's tampering. It might very well be that he knows there's a bigger deal than anything the Ravens are going to offer, and so it's pointless to keep talking to the Ravens. That whoever it would be, the Giants, for example, would seem to be a team that would be very plausible as a future destination. The Browns maybe would be that team. Those two teams would stand out significantly for obvious reasons as teams that would be in hot pursuit. And isn't who did we just find out is not going back to the Browns next year? Is leaving
On their line?
Yeah. I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Was it Wyatt Teller that we found out? Is that right? Hang on a second. Yeah, Wyatt Teller said he's not going to return. So there's some money.
Unless, they come at him with the Myles Garrett deal, where Myles Garrett said, I want to win a Super Bowl.
It seems like
until you offer me.
Based on the way that he said it, it seems like he knows that's going to be the case. Anyway, it might very well be that Tyler Linderbaum's representation is like, dude, I don't need to talk to you because we know we're not going to end up with you. It's all good. Or maybe some of that's overblown, or maybe they're still negotiating that can be done this week at the Combine. I'm not sure. I'm starting to lean. Again, the closer we get, the more I assume Tyler Linderbaum will not be a Baltimore Raven. And that doesn't mean it can't change.
So we need a Linderbaumometer now.
I don't think that's going to get the same. I don't think we're going to do that.
I know, but it's not going to be. I mean, we have
at this point, when you get this close, it's so rare that guys that get this close to free agency don't go to free agency. It's not impossible, but I think at best it's like 20%.
Pat Ricard went to free agency and came back.
Yes, that's much different.
How so?
Well, every team employs a center. They all have one. Not every team does the same at the Pat Ricard's position. Is there anything else that came from Eric DeCosta that was particularly
he said we need to augment the pass rush.
Well, okay, yeah, sure. He also said that he expects Marlon Humphrey to be on the team.
He says Kyle Hamilton's really good at football.
Oh, that's crazy. I think the Marlon Humphrey one is noteworthy because I think there were a lot of people that were leaning towards the idea that was not going to be the case, that Marlon Humphrey was just not going to work out in Baltimore. And I think Kadri Ismail was one of them who we talked to recently about it and said it's time for him to go. Eric DeCosta says that his expectation is that Marlon Humphrey will remain with the team. I would assume that means that he's talking to Marlon Humphrey about a haircut, that he's working on that in order to make that work. Also did not offer an update on Nnamdi Madubuike. I mean, it'd be nice. It would be nice to know, but this is the reality. And did say at one point that they'd still like to have Isaiah Likely back. If I'm 20% on Tyler Linderbaum, I'm 0.2% on Isaiah Likely. I think there is no chance of that occurring, but I don't know. God bless. Crazier things have happened. I think. I'm not sure, but I think crazier things have happened. If Jesse Minter says something that's of particular note, we'll talk about that when he meets with the media today in Indianapolis. But so far, it's a lot of addressing it, but no real answers. The only thing in there that really is to me newsworthy is Marlon Humphrey. Because I do think that we were leaning towards the idea that there could be a parting of the ways between the Ravens and Marlon Humphrey. Eric DeCosta suggests that is not the case. But I guess he did say the word, as Jonas tweeted it, Jonas Schaefer of the Baltimore Banner. Eric DeCosta said he expects Marlon Humphrey to remain on the team in 2026. I guess there is still room in there for there to be some wiggle room, but he expects Marlon Humphrey
Straight up lie. Yeah.
to be on the team. That's what I got for you. All right, as I mentioned, lots to do on the program today. Coming up in just a few minutes, our friend Ryan Ripken from television is going to join us. We will talk about his new gig.
He's on television now?
Yeah, he's on television now. We'll also talk, obviously, about Coby Mayo, as that's sort of the topic du jour surrounding the Orioles at the moment. Hopefully, that's the only topic du jour, because the only real topics are the ones that involve somebody getting hurt. Other than that, it's just who's the last guy in the bullpen to make the team, and that's not the topic that stands out. Is, can Coby Mayo be this team's third baseman for a prolonged period of time? We'll talk about that with Ryan Ripken here in a few minutes. Later on in the program, going to do some college today. Patrick Stevens normally with us on Thursdays. We're moving him to Tuesday this week because I will be off on Thursday. I'm filling in for TJ over on WBAL. So doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Still doing a 4-day week.
Typical.
Yeah, flipping it from Thursday to Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Very normal schedule for me this week. So we moved Patrick to today. And we'll also talk Maryland basketball with the mayor of College Park. Terps legend Dave Neal is going to join us. I am very interested in this.
Is he actually the mayor? Or?
That was always the way we referred to him. He was the most because
I just wasn't sure.
At the beginning of his career, he was a
fine nickname.
He was a guy that wasn't getting a lot of playing time. By the end of his career, he was the starting center on a team that didn't really have a center and was a game changer. But early on in his career, he was a guy that didn't get a lot of minutes, so he was the guy that everybody would always chant for to come off the bench, right?
Gotcha,
So he just became this incredibly popular figure, and then he worked his way into being a dude by the time his career was over, and a necessary piece for some good Maryland teams, obviously in the Gravis-Vasquez era. But we will catch up with the mayor, Dave Neal, because he and Matt Rado have worked together on this thing called the Maryland Basketball Collective. I talked about there were 100 alumni that were there this weekend. We've heard this from a lot of alums. When we've talked to guys the last few years, Lionel Moore particularly loudly, Gravis at times, even Buck Williams last week, how important they feel like they need to have more of a seat at the table and a voice in the process. And I don't know exactly what that can be. We're going to get some answers about that from Dave Neal when he joins us. And then we're going to wrap today's show up by chatting with one of my favorite people, the great Bradley Bozeman, who you, of course, remember, former Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman, more recently with the Chargers. And Bradley, who was a regular with us over the years, just announced his retirement from the NFL. So we're going to talk to him about that and his career and what they're going to be doing next, he and Nikki, who we love. So looking forward to that. Bradley Bozeman will join us before we wrap things up. So that's what's coming up on a Tuesday edition of the program. I guess before Ryan comes on, I should mention that if you haven't picked up this print issue of Press Box,
how are these guys related?
It has the other that other Ripken, that other guy, Cal Ripken on the cover of, and I believe Ryan is quoted in this story. In fact, like he's some authority. But you can go pick this up today for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores and all of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Pressbox. You can also read it for free at PressBoxOnline.com. There's also a lot of college lacrosse in this issue, getting to know Jesse Minter a little bit more and Pete Alonso, but a great cover story from Dave Ginsburg about Cal Ripken at 65, his role now within the Orioles ownership group. You can go pick that up today for free. As always, that print issue of Pressbox. All right, let's talk some Orioles this morning. Joining us now, star of the small screen. He is your friend and ours, Mr. Ryan Ripken, and he is back with us once again on GCR. Rip, what's going on, buddy? How's putting on makeup and doing television going for you?
Did it look like I put on any makeup?
It's
Because
really...
what I need is, does makeup help with hairline?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know what you can do about that. I don't.
We're in some trouble, but maybe the next thing will be there's a couple places you can work on that I've been told. I've been doing.
Are you booking a flight to Turkey? Is that happening in your life?
Hey, I was even hearing when we were out at the Super Bowl, some people were telling me about in Chicago that Urlacher got something done out there, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, it might be time.
But hey, in all seriousness, I'm cool with it. It's a great icebreaker for people. But I
did see some of your content. I did see that there was a little bit of a. Did you ever use this to your advantage? Like when you go to you should stop by the state fair and make the guy guess your age, and win prizes for the misses, I think.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the one that really ignited all of it was Torrey Smith, because Torrey's like, dude, there's no way you're younger than me. And I go, I am. I am younger than you.
Yeah.
And then he posted it on his socials and then added the song Forever Young as the background music.
That was pretty good.
And I'm like, you know what? That was good, Torrey. People don't forget. Still like you. Sometimes, but in all seriousness,
one of the best human beings alive, Torrey Smith, by the way.
Yeah,
truly.
Great dude. Hey, you know what? He can give me crap. I give it right back to him. But he's great. In all seriousness, though, I grateful to get the opportunities. It was really great. Hairline or not, I look forward to.
That's cool, man.
To continuing to go down that path.
Happy for you, and was watching on Friday in particular, and did a great job. So looking forward to seeing more of that moving forward as you continue to take over. Leave some gigs for the rest of us at some point, please. Let us all still have some work somewhere along the lines, if you don't mind, pal. I would appreciate that. Ryan, I want to talk to you about Coby Mayo, right? And I'm trying to in the most direct way possible.
Yep.
Is Coby capable of being, even if it's not a full season, but I think we're assuming at this point, Mike Elias is saying it's a month, but the way that he said it made us all seem like it's maybe more like a month and a half, 2 months, whatever it is. Can Coby Mayo be a primary, even if it's not every day? We're talking, 4 out of 6, something like that, third baseman at the major league level from a defensive standpoint.
So, here's the thing with Coby or this whole situation. And I want to start off with, I feel awful for Westy because of this situation, right? It's been chronic, and there was nothing that he did specifically in this camp, right? I bet for a lot of people, you're dealing with this type of injury, and probably all position players at some point you have wear and tear. It just got to a point where it has to be addressed. But having said all that, we know what Westy is on the field, but we don't know when that's going to be. Yes, the earliest we're hearing is end of April, and then you evaluate where he's at, right? But in my mind and what we've learned in past years and just what I've become accustomed to in the sports world, you have to plan to not have him, right? You have to plan that he's not in the game plan.
Yeah.
Because if you're living on the plan and it doesn't work out, then you're in a tough situation, right? So you got a game plan. All right, we don't know when we're getting Westy back. So what does that mean for Coby Mayo? Well, if you have a choice, do you want to give a guy that is more gets more of his flowers as an offensive player, and there's more questions about his defense? And in some cases, Glenn, I feel bad for Coby in that sense, because everyone wants to tell you why you can't do something, where you want to see what could you possibly do. Now, what they have to consider, and this isn't my opinion, this is just from what I've seen and what I understand, is if you have reservations about playing third, which they've proven that in the past, and last year he was playing first down the stretch, then you're going to look at multiple options over there. But this is what I throw out to this equation. There is something, a give and take, because Coby, of all the options that are available to play third base, he gives you the most offensive upside by a wide margin,
Yes.
especially how he finished September, hit over 300, 5 jacks. He felt like he was starting to put some things together and figure out how he can be successful in the big leagues. So if you want that offensive upside, then the phrasing has to be, how do we help Coby get to a place to be comfortable over there enough that it makes sense for us, right? And if you can do that, then you should really look at giving him a chance. But if you can't answer that, or you don't want to, then that's just where it's going to be. But I don't know any other time, Glenn, unless something happened to Pete Alonso or Ryan Mountcastle. I don't know where Coby could have a direct line of at-bats than this opportunity.
I
right?
agree.
So, and that's the part. And here's one other thing I wanted to say. The Orioles are going through a defensive change. And what I mean by that is, look at the construction of I'm not saying question marks, but they have different players in a position that was not vacant in the past, right? Cedric Mullins is gone. So you have a new center fielder this year that has to patrol the outfield. Is that Cowser, Beavers, etc.? That's to be determined. So there's question marks. Jackson Holiday is going to miss time, so you're not going to have your everyday second baseman there. So Jordan Westburg is going to miss time. So you see where I'm going with this, Glenn. You have 3 positions in your infield that you're not sure about, and you're worried maybe about your defensive prowess and what you got. So if you think that your defense takes that big of a hit, then you look at other options. But if that answer is no, and you're saying upside, then Coby's got to get a long look, because I don't know if we're going to get another opportunity to see him have this chance, at least with how the roster is shaped at this current moment.
I think that's my priority, Ryan. I acknowledge that, like, if he can't do it, he can't do it, right? Like, you wouldn't let him play shortstop. Like, I recognize that, like, that he has to be capable of doing it, but I just feel like as far as priorities go, you do need to get an answer on what Coby Mayo is before you run the risk of, and I feel bad describing it this way. I hope Heston Kjerstad still proves to be a great baseball player, but he doesn't have really any value at the moment to the Orioles. He's not a prospect any longer. He's not a surefire baseball player. We have no idea how he fits in. You can't run the risk of sort of having someone graduate as a prospect, lose their trade value, and yet you don't really know if they're a baseball player that can actually help you. I think you have to try to take an extended look at Coby Mayo's bat at this point.
Yeah, and one thing that since you brought up Heston, this is another way I try to phrase things, and this is the human element of players. And this is just life, right? When the outside noises and the perception is that you can't do something, it can really wear on you. And what's happened over the last couple of years, people were wondering, where does Heston fit in? Can he play the outfield? Because I thought the criticism that went to Heston, I thought was a little bit unwarranted, where I know that you could say, he looks a little bit more unconventional. I think that started to plant a seed. And a negative thought on what guys can be can cause a spiral effect, right? And I'm not saying that Heston is going to be the best outfielder in the world, but certainly putting him in a category already doesn't help him. Now, he has to do the best he can to keep the outside noise, in the outside. Coby's got to do the same thing, because why? That is the same thing he's dealing with right now. Well, people are wondering, can you play third base? Are you too big? Is your arm going to be consistent enough? And instead of phrasing it like that, the question should become, well, what can he do? What can he prove over there? And let's try to find that out, because if you can instill confidence in a young player and he gets a little bit of that, it's going to grow and it's going to keep rolling in a positive way, where you're going to find out more about what he can do. And I think that's what I'd love to see the focus at, is instead of looking at what our players can't do, why don't we focus on what they can do and go from there? And for Heston, he's going to have to be patient. I didn't ask about that, but for Heston's case, I'm not giving up on Heston. I'm not. And there was a lot of things going on with him, and I hate that he had to deal with it.
No doubt.
But just like Kyle Stowers in the situation of where you feel like you've been lost, people might not think of you as a high value. you be patient and you keep working. The season has injuries. The seasons create opportunities. You just got to be ready. And I think that Heston still can be valuable, but that's the biggest focus here, Glenn. And I think this Orioles staff, especially how Albie is, I think that's going to be the focus. Let's not focus on what we can't do. Let's focus on what we can and maximize that. And I think that can work to the Orioles' benefit with Coby's situation and even Heston's.
Ryan Ripken is with us here on GCR. What are the other options in your mind if they get an extended look at Coby Mayo and they're not comfortable with him every day at third base? What would the alternatives be at this point?
Well, right now, you added a little depth, right? They signed Tygo Estrada to a minor league contract, so you have that in the back pocket. Blaze Alexander, Jeremiah Jackson would probably be the two who would lead in this forefront of it. Blaze would probably slide over more to third. Jeremiah would be at second if that were the case. That's kind of how I would predict that if that's the way that they went. I think that's where it would start. I don't see them going out to make another move unless, no, I actually just don't see that. I mean, you probably might go see what's available for either on the market or towards the end of camp. But I think they're going to give a long look at the guys that are there right now. And you have a couple options, but if you're trying to find a combination of offensive, ability and, guys that can help you defensively, it just seems like Blaze and Jeremiah would be the first two, because Jeremiah proved with the bat. He might not be as considered a defensive wizard, but a guy that's a super utility. So, okay, great. You need him, plug him in. Now, Blaze has proven he can go out there and make an impact with the glove, and he's been in the big league. So that would be my thought, Glenn, would be those two if Coby is not the option. And quite frankly, I think as camp goes on, we're saying maybe 2-3 weeks down the road, we could hear some other rumblings if that's moving in that direction.
How comfortable, you brought him up a minute ago, how comfortable are you with Colton Cowser, everyday center fielder? And I say that because I think he can play the position. I think we know that, but I'm so torn between the phenomenon that Colton Cowser was for 6 weeks that made us believe, my God, this guy's special, and then the guy that we've seen for the most part, which has been sort of an average player who obviously can turn on high-speed stuff, but has really struggled to adjust to off-speed pitching. And I don't know how comfortable I am with the idea of him being in the lineup every day until I see that.
And that's understandable. There's with the blessing and the curse for the Orioles right now is you have such talented young players that it's still undefined what their ceiling can be and what type of player that they will be in the big leagues moving forward. But from what I've seen with Colton, the number one thing for him is first, stay healthy. It's for everyone. Find a way. You got to be available. That's number one. Then the second thing for him is just to have the confidence in what he can do. And I know he's a confident guy. I know he believes that he can do this. I know he can do this. Right? I've seen it. I've watched the guy, and when you've had the flashes, it's proving to everyone that you can. The challenge is proving it consistently over and over again. And part of that has to be when things go wrong, how do you keep that confidence up? Because, Glenn, what I mean by this with confidence and with Cowser, you can tell at times that he might be overthinking a little bit, and he might be getting a little bit in his head. And it's also hard when you've been banged up and you're trying to battle back. That also doesn't make it easy for any player. But when I look at Cowser, is he athletic? Yes. Is he talented? Yes. Can he go out there and do the job? Absolutely. But the biggest thing for him is going to be when the struggles come around, because they will. And I do believe there's a big emphasis on him to correct, get him back to the lot of the positives that he had, his rookie campaign, and build off of that. But the biggest thing is handling the failures and handling that. And if he can play free and fluid, which he did in his minor league career and in flashes in the big leagues, he can do that. But that's my only reservation, is that if he loses that confidence and the struggles, start to add up, that's where things can be troublesome. But the athlete, Cowser, and the opportunity, it's all there in front of him, So I'm excited. And I'm actually, and also side note different, but I'm excited for Dylan Beavers too.
Yeah, it was interesting, right? Seeing him in center field.
Yeah. I mean, look, they're trying to, I heard Adam Jones was asked about it. The reality with that position in center, it's there. It's open. Who wants it, right? Who's going to seize the chance to be that everyday guy? And Cowser's going to get the run. Why? He's a talented player. But now it's going to be, time will tell if he's going to be that long-term answer.
Ryan Ripken, just another minute or two with him here on GCR. Ryan, as far as it's interesting, I feel like the other big question, like some of the questions that we have, you can't possibly get answers to until the regular season, right? Like the volatility of the pitching staff. Will Trevor Rogers be the guy from a year ago? Well, he looked good the other day, but that doesn't. We can't get those answers. I feel like the questions about the bullpen are really fascinating, and what the roles are. And the really interesting part that I've been talking about is that I think a lot of us believe some of those answers could come from, say, Tyler Wells, right? Like, I think a lot of us would feel would be an outstanding late-inning leverage arm if they committed to him in that way. And I get why you don't want to do that yet, because you never know if you might have two starters get hurt, and then you're going to want Tyler Wells to be that guy. But I wonder what the line is between those two things. Like, when do you say, hey, we've got this guy who could be a phenomenal answer to a problem that we appear to have. Maybe we do need to kind of commit to that and believe that we have enough starting pitching that we don't have to keep him as sort of the seventh or eighth option at this point.
I would say, Glenn, if all starters are healthy, starting pitchers, going into camp, knock on wood, I think Wells should be in the pen no matter what. And not because I wouldn't want Tyler Wells to start games.
Right.
I just want him to be comfortable with whatever role you're going to ask him to be in. And I think he can be a really good reliever in the pen.
Yeah.
Because why? He's shown that he's comfortable in the pen. Not all guys can do that. Now, I know in a day and age, we like versatility. We love guys that can be in the pen and go back to start. And great, Tyler can be that eighth option now, because you got a lot of guys that have that startability. And then the other part here, and I know Tyler, deep down, when you get a chance to start, it's great, and he's proven that he can start games. But also over these years, his body's broken down a little bit. So how do you get the best out of Tyler Wells for a full 162 season, right? That's the goal. So it just makes sense to me from a management standpoint and from where he could thrive. I think he can be really good in the pen. And a lot of people I've talked to, Glenn, and I do believe this myself, it is easier to fix your bullpen. It is much harder to go out there and get starters. And if you don't believe me, then even look to last year for the Orioles, right?
Yeah.
When the starting rotation got depleted, that was the bigger issue there, because if the starting rotation can't get you into games or get you deeper into games and you're falling behind, you know who that puts a lot of pressure on? Your bullpen.
Significant.
So it goes hand in hand. And then if you're in the hunt and you're at the deadline, yeah, you can go out and get power arms, right? You're not going to go out and get power arms here in spring training. You're not going to make trades at the end of camp for those guys. Teams hold on to those players. So for the Orioles, use what you have to your advantage. You have guys that can pitch in multiple roles. And I think Tyler Wells, if I were to put a crystal ball on this right now and everyone's healthy, I think Tyler Wells could turn out to be one of the best assets that is going to be in that Orioles bullpen. And I think they're going to need him. I really do. And I know Tyler is going to be ready for whatever the team asks, but I would like to personally see him be able to focus on one thing and one thing only if it came down to it.
We strongly agree about that. All right, I know there's like a million things. What do you want to run through and plug, and when we see you and hearing you and and your show and the whole deal.
Well, so I can't be correspondent for Glenn Clark.
Dude, you
can't add that.
Listen to me. Like, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. I'll do anything for you, whatever you can do for me. I just need to know, like, when do I have to start seeing your guy? Like, when do I have to start, like, running it by, like, Zach or Ryan or somebody to get approved? When do you say you're no longer allowed to text me directly? You're going to have to talk to my people.
No, hey, for you, that will never happen. So you and Griffin, I might be sometimes hard to get a hold of because I'm sometimes can be bad with my phone. You can ask my friends. You can ask my wife. I'm trying to get better at that. But it's always one of my favorite things to come on and chat it up with you guys. So I appreciate you. And then, Ryan Ripken Shows on YouTube, X, and Facebook Monday through Friday. We got a lot of other things cooking that we can talk about in the future.
That sounds good, buddy. When's the next game that you're doing? Do you know?
Figuring all that out, but I'll just say it's in the sooner than later.
All right.
I'll put it at that.
Fair enough. Ryan, happy for you, brother. You know that. You know I love you, and I think you do great work, man. So rooting for you, and really enjoying seeing you, and looking forward to seeing more. Always appreciate you, brother. Let's talk again real soon. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.
Thank you, man. Ryan Ripken with us here on GCR. Appreciate him doing that. And I thought he did a really good job. I really do. Like, I thought he felt natural doing the game. I didn't get to see Saturday, unfortunately, because I was working. But I watched Friday, and I thought he was very natural in the booth. And I enjoyed him. I think he had something to offer. All right, when we come back in, Patrick Stevens is going to make a Tuesday appearance on GCR. That's next. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million, only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs in the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR. Tonight, the MIAA Basketball Championships over at UMBC for the A Conference and the B Conference. What do you need to know about who's involved, how they got there? You can go find out by going to countysports.zone. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. That's countysports.zone. And then after that, obviously, the public school playoffs will be getting underway in basketball, so they'll have you taken care of for brackets and scores and schedules, everything you need to know about high school sports, countysports.zone. Normally on Thursdays, but I'm off this Thursday, so appreciate Patrick Stevens working with us. You, of course, know him from so many places, including Blue Ribbon, USA Lacrosse Magazine, the Raleigh News and Observer now, and Ovius and Giglio, as many wherever you find important college sports content, it's from this man. Patrick Stevens, good morning, sir. Thank you for taking the time for us, as always.
How are you doing this morning, Glenn?
I'm well, Patrick. I want to ask you about, because Dave Neal's going to join us in a few minutes. You know, who doesn't love Dave Neal, right? They're doing this thing where they're trying to get the alumni to have sort of a stronger, more formal, organized connection. And I think that's a good thing, but I'm also not really sure how much it matters. Like, what is your perspective on the relevance of having a formal basketball alumni group and what it could or could not mean for the University of Maryland?
Well, first of all, I think it's definitely a good thing, right? I want people to want to care, right?
Yes.
Like, that's step number one. So it's great that that Dave and a bunch of folks want to care. Second, I think it's good for, especially at this moment, at a time where I think there's a real sense of disconnect as to, what is Maryland basketball, to have people that have been part of, especially the last 50 years or so, but even going further back than that, that want to, that want to be involved and what have you. The question is, how does that manifest itself and what does it look like? And obviously, I don't know that much about what their entire plans are, but that's going to obviously have more to do with how they relate to the athletic director and how they probably relate to the current men's basketball coach.
Yeah.
And I think those are the questions, and I don't know what that looks like ultimately. So I think those are very good intentions, and I think that anybody that has cared about Maryland basketball for a long time should be glad that former players care about Maryland basketball and want to be very public about that. What sort of impact that has, it's really hard to say.
I think everything you just said is what it sounds correct to me. And again, a good thing. I think it's good for everybody to see an organized group, but that is to be determined what it means to the university and to the people that have the power there. As far as local college basketball is concerned, I think the biggest story of the week is probably UMBC. No.
Yeah, I mean, certainly up there. You look at they now run 6 in a row, and they're 2 games up with 3 to play in the regular season. And of course, the America East is a home court league in their conference tournament. So basically, where UMBC's at right now is if it wins 2 out of the last 3, it doesn't have to leave Catonsville to be able to make the NCAA tournament and to be able to play home games all the way through. So. They played really well against Vermont last Thursday. Didn't play as well against Albany. That's kind of not really a huge surprise, I don't think. A little bit of I don't want to say a letdown there, but they certainly played well enough. And, I keep coming back to this idea with them that last year in league play, they were the worst defensive team per KenPom in terms of efficiency. And not just the worst, but they've been the worst America East team in league play in a while. And this year they're the best team in the league.
That's wild.
Not by a ton, but by a little bit. And so that transformation has been really remarkable. And you look at the 9, 10 new guys, whatever it is that they had, being able to kind of come together here. You go back, they lost a game up at Bryant in the middle of last month. Probably a game they felt they shouldn't have let get away. And even before that, they hadn't played great in those first 2 league games against Maine and New Hampshire. And since then, they've won 9 out of 10 with the loss being at Vermont. You can certainly, chalk that up to Vermont being good. And granted, the league itself is a bit down this year, but UMBC has taken full advantage and played really, really well of late. They had won 4 in a row by double figures before beating Albany by 4. So a chance for them to clinch a share of the regular season title in the return game from Bryant on Thursday. That's their home finale. And then they get UMass Lowell on the road Saturday and go up to NJIT next Tuesday. 2 out of 3 does it. It's possible that 1 out of 3 does it, but they probably don't want to chance that. NJIT and Vermont are both 2 games back in the loss column. And so I think if you're UMBC, you'd love to have a situation where you take care of business.
Right.
Have the next 2 games and not have to actually go play for a league title up at NJIT on Tuesday.
What stands out to me in watching them, Patrick, is their balance and that they are not relying on anyone to carry them, and that I've watched games where it was, a DJ Armstrong night or King or a Diggs or like that this is they are really not going to have one guy be on in order to win.
Yeah, I mean, and look, Jalakai King has probably been their most consistent player since the start of the season, but you're right. Between him and Diggs and DJ Armstrong and Ace Valentine, who's had a really good bounce-back season this year, Jim Ferry has not been shy about acknowledging, look, last year wasn't really all that great for him, and he's been a lot better this season. They've had Jose Tanchin come on of late. He moved into the starting lineup a ways back, and he's had a few double-digit rebounding games. And Josh Adunawo has been playing better in the second half of the season as well. So you have 4 guys in double figures, and you have a rotation that goes reasonably deep there too. I mean, you kind of look at it, and it's essentially like a 9-man crew, and Paul Green can stretch it to 10 pretty easily at times. So, I think that when you kind of look at that stuff, it's a really good sign that they have that many options and that many answers as they delve ever deeper into the season.
On the flip side, we've been talking so much about Navy, and for good reason, right? Like, they are probably the best team in the region, and the beat goes on. They go to Army, they win another game. Life is good. They've already locked up the league title. Loyola has been a much more interesting team than I thought they were going to be in December. And I know that they lost a couple of games this week, and I don't know what their reality is. Where are they as far as, their ability to maybe win a couple of games, maybe make things interesting as they get towards the Patriot League tournament?
Well, I think a couple things here. First of all, they have a good point guard in Braden Speed. So that's a really good place for them to start. A guy that has really come into his own as a sophomore. And even last week, he had the 4 turnovers against Colgate, had 7 assists too, 19 points. Maybe not a perfect game against Army, but still 13 points in that game. The other thing they have, Emmett Adair has had some monster moments for these guys. He has hit the 20-point plateau 5 times in the last 7 games. And that is for a freshman big, which, on the downside, that means, 6'9", 230 freshman player that can knock down threes. There's going to be some interest in a guy like that after the season. But for now, he's a guy that really creates some mismatch problems for them. They also, kind of an interesting figure for them is Jacob Theodosio, who missed some time in January and has come back the last couple of games. He had 25 up at Colgate, had 15 against Army. And so if he can get himself going the way he did it at times earlier this season and at times last season, that's just going to make them all the more dangerous. And so I don't know if Loyola is going to be consistent enough to get on any kind of huge run in that conference tournament. But at the same time, it's a team that has beaten Lehigh. It has beaten American. It has tested Colgate twice. I mean, but the Colgate game at Loyola was really, really good. And obviously they went to overtime over the weekend up there. And so really interested to see what Loyola looks like tomorrow against Navy. I feel like that's kind of a sneaky kind of game. You know, if you're going to pick off Navy, it's their last road game of the season. You know, they come off the victory over Army. They play Colgate again on the weekend. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say Navy has nothing to play for because they have a lot to play for. They're looking for as many wins as they possibly can. But this feels like an opportunity for Loyola, especially given how well that they've played at home for the most part during conference play.
Patrick, and the MEAC, I guess the best way to say it, Morgan gets the win this weekend. They control their own destiny to try to be the 1 seed in the tournament.
Well, maybe, right?
Okay.
Because they've also got the I guess they do technically, but they have the game tomorrow against South Carolina State. But you're right. You know, if they win, they get the Howard and Norfolk back to back. I got the chance to see them at Hillfield House on Saturday. Kevin Brodus was ill. So he was not on the sidelines, and Gretchen Lacusa, his longtime assistant, was able to lead them to an 82-68 victory. Really interested to see how Morgan handles this closing stretch. But I'll tell you what, Elijah Davis has been playing really well for them. Tied a school record with 15 assists the other day. Just a guy that controls everything. You're talking about point guards with Braden Speed. It's much the same thing with Davis, a veteran guy who's been around and has turned out to be a major addition for these guys. And they've now won 7 of their last 8, and they play 3 of their last 4 at home. So certainly looking forward to seeing how they fare against Howard. I mean, that's basically, you know, whoever wins that basically has control of things going into the final week of the season.
On the national front, did Duke prove that they are the team to beat going into the tournament based on what they did on Saturday night?
I mean, they certainly played well. If you're Michigan, I don't think you feel horribly about losing by 5 on a neutral court to one of the other really good teams in the country. So I don't think it changes a whole lot that you're staring at. Duke's probably the number 1 overall seed as opposed to what you might have heard a few hours earlier with the committee reveal. But I think both of those teams are going to be perfectly capable of ripping off long winning streaks in March and into April.
The lacrosse weekend was insane. We could probably spend 20 minutes discussing it. We don't have that, I guess, twofold. It probably doesn't matter who's the best team right now. We'll always remind ourselves that. It's February. That's kind of irrelevant. Is there concern for Maryland, or these are really good teams, pipe down, they're going to be fine when we get to May?
So I first of all, I don't think that there's a huge issue with Maryland. If anything, it's the same issue that they had last year. I kind of discount the loss to Syracuse. Like, Syracuse was probably the hungrier team. Syracuse is really old, really talented. So, okay, you lose by 2 at the Dome. Worse things have happened. The Princeton loss was interesting because Maryland has just owned them so much over the last several years. And Princeton kind of deployed the same strategy that Michigan did in that overtime win in College Park last year, and Rutgers to an extent as well, essentially shortening possessions, not as much as those 2 teams did, but really punishing Maryland at the end of shot clocks, end of quarters, things like that. So, I think that tightening things up at the defensive end is actually the biggest issue that Maryland is facing right now, just because they really did get carved up in some stretches by Princeton the other day. So 1-2, they're under 500 for the first time since early in the 2016 season. That team started 1-2, and then they didn't lose until Memorial Day. That said, Notre Dame comes to town on Saturday, and if Maryland loses that game, they'll be 2 games under 500 for the first time since they were 3-5 in 1993.
Jeez, that is wild. And obviously Notre Dame coming off a they're smart, or they're feeling good about themselves a little bit after a nice win over Georgetown. So That will be a big matchup this weekend. All right, sir, let's play the game. Can Patrick Stevens name the teams? Now, interesting, this is the first time I've done this. We have used this person before as a player. Now, I want you to name the 3 teams that he's managed.
All right.
Joe Girardi is the name.
Joe Girardi. I do remember the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, that was the one, right? That was the one.
And then the Yankees and the Phillies.
Of course, those are the 3. This is, we always have a ball buster as far as players are concerned. I got 1.
Oh, dear.
It's not great. He is a 2-time All-Star, and he did win a World Series, but he was so similar to so many other players that, like, I just sort of – the name is Alex Rios, and there are 4 teams.
Okay, Alex Rios was definitely a Toronto Blue
That
Jay,
was the
right?
one I got.
Okay. Am I remembering him as a White Sox?
You are indeed for 5 years. I don't know why I blanked on Alex Rios as a White Sox.
Okay. The rest of it's going to be kind of sketchy.
Now,
right?
for
like
what it's worth,
all
you don't have his World Series win yet.
I don't have his World Series win. Well, I'm going to throw out the Giants at this point.
Not the Giants. I think that's really well educated. You got to let him guess one more, Griffin. Griffin thinks he knows. Go ahead. One
well,
more.
I've got 2 more guesses if he has 5 teams.
4 teams. Sorry for Alex Rios.
4 teams.
Yes.
Okay. So he was a World Series champion, and this is a guy that played from roughly 2001 to 2012. Correct?
I will tell you that the time span was 04 to 15.
04 to 15. Okay. See, the Giants was actually a pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
Guess,
100%.
right?
I think it's a great guess.
So, I mean, was he a Red Sox? Get one of them in. Get one of those Red Sox World Series.
Not a Red Sox. It was, in fact.
Was it the Kansas City Royals?
It was the final year of his career. He was with the Kansas City Royals, and there was a stint in there with Texas as well. And then, oh God, do you want the slam dunk or do you want the tougher 3-team one?
I'll take a tougher 3-team one here.
3 teams for a reliever, but a damn good one. A 2-time All-Star and a World Series champion. 3 teams for Tom Henke.
Tom Henke, Toronto, Texas, and St. Louis.
Very well done. What's the schedule look like for you this week, sir?
So we'll be down at Georgetown tonight. They play Marquette at Loyola tomorrow for their game against Navy. On Thursday, UMBC against Bryant. Friday, GW Dayton. Saturday, BU and American plus another game to be determined. Sunday, one last look at the Terps for this season as they play Rutgers. And then next Monday, a NEAC game, probably contingent on whoever wins that Morgan Howard game on Saturday.
At Discourse, D1S Course on Twitter, but also more importantly on Blue Sky. Gets great stuff there. And then, again, Raleigh News and Observer, OBS and Giglio, as well as USA Lacrosse Magazine. Patrick Stevens, always appreciate you, sir. Thank you for taking the time for us. Let's talk again real soon, all right?
Awesome, Glenn. Have a good one.
That's Patrick Stevens with us here on GCR. When we come back in, I just brought it up, Dave Neal. Maryland Basketball Collective is a new concept to organize basketball alumni at the University of Maryland. I support it. I want to find out more about it. Dave Neal, the mayor of College Park, joins us next. Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website CostasIn.com for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg chats with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. about his life now at the age of 65, his role with the Orioles ownership group, and much more. Also inside, Bill Ordine helps us learn more about new Ravens head coach Jesse Minter. Luke Jackson finds out about new Orioles slugger Pete Alonso from those who have played with him, and we meet college lacrosse players from programs all across the area. PressBox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR's Continue Along on a Tuesday edition of the program. There were 2 sports questions and one that was sort of sportsy last night at trivia. This one is the sort of sportsy one. I missed this, Griffin, and you might have gotten it. Had you been there and had we gotten it, we would have won. We ended up losing by 2 points last night. So I don't know if you know the answer or not, but the question is, this is up your alley. You should get this.
Oh, God.
After his Super Bowl halftime performance, which song by Bad Bunny hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart?
I'm guessing DTMF. Yeah.
We would have won.
Oh,
we would have
no.
won. We went with Tito Mi Pregunto because it was the only Bad Bunny song that I could think of in that moment.
Nobody else on the team could have had another one in the
we
chamber.
We are all in our 40s. It is just not our world, brother.
Definitely DTMF.
That unfortunately we could have used that last night.
I think I posted it on my Instagram at some point. You should have just went there. And
really should have. That's my fault. All right. We were just talking about it a minute ago. I am really interested in finding out more of the details of this and what it means and what it's going to look like. But this weekend, if you had been in College Park for the Maryland's win over Washington, you would have seen a large group of Maryland basketball alumni at the game and participating in events this weekend. And that's because there has been an organization of Maryland basketball alums for something called the Maryland Basketball Coalition. Joining us now, a man behind that. It's always great to see his face. You know him as the mayor of College Park, the unofficial mayor, that is, of College Park. He's Maryland basketball legend. The great Dave Neal is back with us now here on GCR. What's going on, brother? Look at you, man. You look great.
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be on. Was sort of a whirlwind of a weekend, but back in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where I live. But yeah,
you are the most interesting human being on the face of the planet. How does the mayor of College Park end up making life in Rio?
So it's with my wife. So she works with the State Department, and we're down here actually as diplomats. And she's working at the U.S. consulate down here. So we've been abroad for about 7, almost 8 years now.
Wow, man.
Kind of all over the world. Definitely keeps life interesting.
Yeah, right.
But I think it kind of plays into what went on this weekend and my ability to kind of keep connections, keep relationships, and kind of bring people together, because I don't get to see a lot of people a lot of times. So I like putting together events where everyone can come together, reminisce on good times, talk about some stories. And that's really what this weekend was built around, is to kind of reignite the Maryland pride, the flame that we all have and all love about the University of Maryland, and get us back on campus and get excited.
Dave, it's you bring that up. The weekends, obviously, it was very cool, but I feel like the big picture stuff is what's fascinating to me, because I've had so many guys. I mean, Len and I are very close, and he was very passionate about this last time through, and a lot of guys have. Gravis has been very passionate about this topic and wanting to have alums more involved, more directly with the program. And we know there's no alum on staff currently, but what you guys are doing, can you kind of walk me through how this came about with you and Matt trying to make this a bit more formal, and what the goal is beyond just having fun hangs, which I think, are a good thing. I'm not opposed to there just being fun hangs for you guys, but I would think that there's maybe some more big picture stuff that you'd like to accomplish.
No, I mean, 100%. So, I mean, this started, it's been in conversation for a while. Obviously, Matt and I helped with Shell Shock, which is the team that plays in the TBT. They had a great run this last summer. Matt and I obviously kept in touch, and we had this idea of bringing folks together. I mean, he was the Rudy of his team. I was the hoorah guy of my team. I kind of kept everyone together. And so he recently sold his business, is getting back into grassroots basketball. And we saw an opportunity with the hype of the team going to the Sweet 16 last year. Maryland basketball fans were excited. New coach after Willard left, and then obviously a new AD was coming in. So we thought it was kind of an opportune time to start something fresh, get something off the ground. And so we created what you mentioned earlier, the Maryland Basketball Coalition. It is a nonprofit, and the ultimate vision for it is to bring back Maryland basketball alumni. That's former coaches, former players, former managers, pretty much everyone who wore the Maryland jersey, shirts across their chest, to not only uplift our network. I mean, our network is very strong. We have a lot of successful alumni doing some great things across all different types of industries, but also lift up Maryland basketball and help Buzz and his team now. Baba came back this weekend, and he kind of got to see and meet some of the prestigious alumni that wore the jersey that he'll be wearing next year. And I mean, you see it across college sports now. I mean, with the landscape and where it's going, the people who built the programs, the foundation of those programs, the people that won the national championships, won the conference tournaments, they're back around in their programs. And unfortunately with Maryland, it hasn't been as prevalent. And so our intention is solely to, through events, through different meetups, is just get people back on campus, get people excited, and help Jim Smith and Buzz kind of turn Maryland athletics and Maryland basketball back to the kind of pedestal that it once was.
I love everything about that. That sounds like nothing but good. How has the reception been from those parties, from Jim Smith and Buzz Williams, and how welcoming have they been to the idea of the alumni coalition having, I don't know, maybe a more of a seat at the table in making decisions and sharing input on things surrounding the program?
It was very well received. So Friday we had about 75 guys watching practice. So everyone got to see a glimpse in his team and his staff and how they work practice. Myself, Sean Mosley, and Eric Hayes got the opportunity to sit in a film session, which was very enlightening. Kind of brought back the great memories of sitting down and kind of doing the scouts and hearing the different ins and outs, and just kind of how Buzz approaches game days. Jim and his staff, I mean, they help put us on. They help put this on. I mean, obviously, we don't have access to the facilities that we leveraged this weekend, and so we needed to work with the athletic department. So his team obviously made the introductions. They were around all weekend. And what we learned kind of walking away, we really haven't debriefed yet. It obviously just ended on Saturday, but I mean, this was the largest amount of alumni back for a single game in Maryland history.
Wow.
There's never been this many alumni back. We got a standing ovation when the fans came, when we went on the court at halftime. So with that, and just kind of hearing the feedback from Jim, President Pines was around with our event after the game. There's an opportunity here. We just got to keep riding this momentum that came from this weekend and really game plan and 10X this. I hate to use the analogy to Duke and their brotherhood. They do it to a T. They've mastered it. They're always back. They're always showing their faces at different events, at different games. And so there's a massive opportunity here. I don't really have like a detailed game plan, if you will, but obviously with the cooperation and working closely with Jim Smith and the athletic department, I think this thing could be very special for Maryland basketball and Maryland alumni moving forward.
Dave Neal, Maryland basketball legend, now helping to head up the Maryland Basketball Coalition. He's with us here on GCR. Dave, I feel like there's little things, right? Like that maybe your group could have some thoughts about. Someone who might need to have their jersey in the rafters that isn't up there, or someone who's not in the Athletics Hall of Fame that probably should be in there. And as while those things aren't the same as what happens on the floor, and I know that there are guys that say we need to have an alum on the bench and involved directly, but I think those are little things that maybe could be, I don't know, a helpful partnership for the program. Hey, we wanted to honor this person or recognize them, or it doesn't sound like it's going to make or break on whether or not Maryland beats, Michigan State, but those are relevant things around the program that you would want the alums to be involved with.
100%. I mean, and that's all. I mean, there hasn't really been a presence of an alumni in a long, long time. And in my opinion, I don't think it should be on Buzz and his staff's shoulders. I mean, he's new. He's got enough things to handle. First, especially when he first started, he had to build a whole new roster. He had to create a whole new schedule. And so that was another intention with this, is like, we'll take it off Buzz and his team, or whoever is the head coach, and this will be the foundation of what's really going to build the coalition. And the more people get involved, the more people get excited, the more people come back to the events that we put on, it's going to show currently Buzz and his staff that we do care about Maryland basketball. We do love Maryland basketball, and we want your team to be successful, like history has showed that Maryland basketball can be. And as this thing continues to take off and people are around, they're showing their faces, they're building relationships, they're establishing a professional network, I think it's an easier conversation to potentially put someone on the staff of Maryland basketball.
Yeah.
Jim is new to Maryland athletics. I don't know how much he knows about the history of Maryland basketball. I mean, the guy's going a million miles a second, but like, we can have meetings with him and talk about the history of Maryland basketball and share our opinions, where historically that's really never happened with previous ADs, to my understanding, and educate them on why this is important to Maryland alumni, why it's important to Maryland basketball. And those are the types of conversations and things that we think we can open doors to get alumni stamped and put in the rafters, or put on the staff, or, I mean, as a general manager, I mean, there's all these opportunities that open up now with NIL and just a new landscape that I think this coalition can really empower. And so as we have these conversations, as this week it just completed and it was a huge success and very well received, I think that's stuff that could uplift alumni that maybe want to get more involved with Maryland basketball or just Maryland athletics in general.
Can there be an NIL component or a financial component? Like I think about like, do you do an event and maybe that some of that money would go towards trying to help the program in some sort of way? Like, is there any aspect where this could have a financial benefit for Maryland basketball?
I mean, of course. I mean, I think if we were to say no, we'd be stupid. I mean, that money is what's driving rosters right now.
Yeah.
The more money the athletic department has to allocate to Maryland basketball, the better players we can afford. There's also a lot of alumni who have kids now that are starting to get into the college age and wanting to play in college. I mean, Obina Kesey's son is one of the bigger ones. He is a recruit that Buzz and his staff are going actively about. Matt played with Obina. Obina loves to see stuff like this where we're bringing the alumni back together. We're trying to empower
it's huge.
Now alumni and then obviously alumni to be as they graduate from Maryland or wear the jersey. And so I think, yes, potentially in the future, could we contribute to NIL? I could see that easily happening. And then I think it's a great way to get more people like Nick Blake, who's on the team, maybe Obina's son, and other guys as their kids get older that like, I want to do what my dad did. And that's the type of stuff that we can introduce people to and say, let's make this happen, or let's see if we can do this.
I know Juan's got kids that are going through the process.
Juan,
right
his son is having a great season at O'Connell. And so, I mean, those are things that we can bring to the table and have conversations with as we build more respect and show Buzz that we are truly doing this to get behind you and make your team better and make everything a little bit more smoothly across the entire alumni network.
Of course, Dave Neal had to throw in that Juan's kid is doing well at O'Connell. Of course, Dave had to make sure that he got that note in.
And aside, Juan is coaching there too. I don't know if you guys saw, but he's on Joe Wooten's staff there.
That's awesome.
They did just lose to PVI in the semifinals. I mean, PVI has had a heck of a run the last 3 or 4 years, but I mean, all that. I mean, there's a lot of Maryland Terps out there in basketball on all different levels, and if there's ways that they obviously prove themselves that they're capable of coaching at a Big Ten kind of top tier school, I think the conversations can be had about opportunities.
I keep thinking about how well Dave Neal would have done NIL era. My God, I mean, this guy would have cleaned up every spot in College Park. Would have been throwing money at this dude.
There was a lot of conversations this weekend about what if we were in the NIL era,
100%
amount of dollars, and
God, man,
what life would be like. Because I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't change my 4 years for anything. I mean, I had an amazing time at the University of Maryland. I mean, it was a dream come true to me just to get the opportunity to play there, and the way I went out my senior year. I mean, it couldn't have been written any better.
It's one of the great stories. It really is one of the great stories of Maryland basketball history, because you say you were the rah-rah guy, and then you became the glue. Like, you became maybe the most important one. Gravis existed. I'm not going to go that far. But, like, you became such a critical part of that team that sort of it's one of my favorite stories ever in Maryland basketball history. Dave, I wonder, because there's Maryland fans that are skeptical about Buzz and the way the season has gone. What would you tell them about your experience and the faith that you have about the direction of the program right now?
I mean, I'm all in. And this also kind of obviously gave me more encouragement being around the team, seeing how the team respects Buzz, listens to Buzz. And as we've seen recently, I mean, obviously we haven't had as many wins as we wanted, but the team is making strides they're calling it foundational February. I think February has been a big month for the team, for Buzz. And even though we haven't really won as many games as we had, the team is still going out there and playing extremely hard, competing at a high level. And it hasn't, obviously, we've had injuries, we've had some setbacks, but Buzz is a winner. I mean, you can look at his record. He wins more. He wins a lot of games. He takes teams to the NCAA tournament. I just think the situation that he walked into this summer, he had a lot to get done. He had to quickly put together a roster. And some of these guys that he obviously put faith in to bring to Maryland are now showing that these guys have potential and can make an impact the rest of this season. And obviously with the people coming in next year, we could, I think, be a great team. So yeah, I mean, I'm all in with Buzz. I think he's going to get us back to that level that we were last year as a Sweet 16 team, and more. So I can just tell, I mean, Maryland fans to stay on board, stay excited, keep showing your support. Buzz and his staff are working his tail off to obviously get to the level that we are used to seeing Maryland basketball compete at, which is in the top of the Big Ten. But let's continue to kind of get behind them, show up to games, cheer the team on, because I mean, if I was a player on this team, obviously I don't want to lose every game, but they're out there and they're working hard in practice and they're doing the things they need to do to get better. And anything can happen in March, especially in conference play. So let's continue to get excited, support them, and kind of see how the season ends up.
Dave Neal, I think this is awesome. I mean, I really do. I think this is a long time coming, and I know how many guys that were there this weekend were really fired up about there being something like this, and we can't wait to see what's next for it. I appreciate you taking the time. Is there any way, if somebody wanted to know more, is there any way we can guide them, or just, stay tuned?
Well, stay tuned. I mean, we do have a website. It's MarylandBasketballCoalition.org. People can always reach out to myself. I mean, I'm pretty accessible. I feel like always willing to have a conversation and talk. I've never built something like this before, but having the University of Maryland behind us and working with us, I think there's great opportunities to be had. And yes, I mean, we will have more events to come, some exciting things. We just kind of need to debrief after this weekend and talk as a team, and then obviously talk with the University of Maryland and kind of see how they want to stamp their approval on different things that we have visions for around the alumni.
Dave, it's great, man. Great stuff. Always appreciate you. It's great to see you, dude.
Great to see you guys too. Yeah, keep up the great work. I love listening to you guys. You guys are awesome. And yeah, anytime.
We'll be in touch. I will.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch,
let's
bro.
keep in touch, and I'd love to get back on and keep spreading the word about what we're trying to do with alumni and kind of uplifting Maryland basketball.
Absolutely, brother. Dave, appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right, Glenn. Have a good one. See you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a great one. Go Terps.
Dave Neal, again, the mayor. I love that guy. Really, one of the great stories of the modern era of Maryland basketball is someone that, as he jokes about, was just kind of like a guy on the bench, was the guy we all cheered for when he got into games, and then really became a critical piece as the only big his senior year. And really excited for what they're doing. I think it's awesome, and look forward to seeing what it leads to as it continues to unfold in the coming years. All right, let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by Live Casino and Hotel. Still 1 week left in February, so still actually 2, because they're going to do the regular drawing on Friday and then another drawing on Saturday for you to win your share of $1 million in free slot play if you're a Live Rewards member. Find out more by going to livech.com.
I guess I assume you want the quick one.
Yes, going to need the quick one today. Sorry.
I have a good one. All right.
I have to
Chris
save.
Paul,
I'm not even able to give you all the questions from trivia last night.
yeah,
I'll have to say some of those.
Chris Paul did retire last week. He's one of 3 players. 20,000 points, 10,000 assists, 2,000 steals.
20,000 points,
10,000 assists.
I guess we have
2,000 steals.
I don't know where to start from on this one. All right, Oscar Robertson.
No, they're both still active. The other
They're
two are
both still active. James Harden.
Not James
He's
Harden.
not really a defensive. Russell Westbrook.
Yes, Russ.
Yeah, that makes sense. And LeBron?
LeBron, yep.
Okay.
Russ, LeBron, CP3. 2010 and 2000 steals.
I'll give you one of them, and I'll save the other one for tomorrow. Occurring in the women's downhill, who was the first American to win a gold medal at this year's Winter Olympics?
First American to win a gold.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Schifrin?
It was not Michaela Schifrin.
Damn.
It was the same race where it was the same race where Lindsey Vonn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know who her teammates were. Smith.
I only remember. Well, I'd say only. I don't know if I would have. She's got a really cool name.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it because I think I'd remember.
I mean, her last
if
name
I
is
knew
common.
it.
Her last name is common. It's
Her
sort of
first
like
name's
that.
kind of.
Her first name is really cool. Last name is Johnson. Breezy Johnson.
Oh, that is a good name.
Breezy Johnson won the first gold medal at the Olympics
wasn't
this
gonna
year.
get that.
That was the one.
Guess I should have known.
Tubular brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. If you missed either of Stan's shows last week, find them right now. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline, or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan shows brought to you by the Costas Inn and the all-new Costas Inn open in Timonium. Just audio again, and only for MLB TV subscribers today as the Orioles take on the Twins at 1:05. Albert Suarez and Andrew Morris, the pitchers. CIAA tournament underway at CFG Bank Arena. Find the full schedule at glennclarkradio.com. This afternoon, UMBC, Mount St. Mary's lacrosse, 4 o'clock on ESPN+. All the CIAA tournament games are on ESPN+, by the way. Also tonight, Loyola Syracuse women's lacrosse at 5 on ESPN+. And I feel like... Oh, yeah, Maryland-Delaware baseball? Is that? I think that...
Yeah, they played today.
Yeah, but I think that they moved that. It was...
Oh, because of...
No, hang on a second. I think that
I thought
one...
it was at home.
It is at home.
Okay.
But I think originally it was going to be at Delaware, and I think that's the reason why I had it as something...
They play twice anyway, so they can do the other one.
Yeah, I think next week is now at Delaware. Okay. So this one's now on Big Ten Network Plus at 4 o'clock. The bummer is if it was on ESPN Plus, I could watch it. But it's not, so I cannot. And Johns Hopkins Women's Lacrosse hosting Georgetown today at 4 o'clock, and that is on their website and centennialconference.tv, which is weird because Johns Hopkins Women's Lacrosse is not in the Centennial Conference, but it's just a whole thing. Yeah, they're, of course, in the Big Ten, obviously.
Well, they're Centennial 90%.
It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. Anything non-sports that stands out?
There's some big thing, or there's a politician talking to the world at 9 p.m. That's on all the major networks.
I'm good.
Best medicine before
Although
that.
I wonder if I'm supposed to be talking about it on TJ's show on Thursday. All right.
Anyone's into her?
Sure. She did that show that was on CBS that they canceled at midnight, or after midnight. Was that what it's called? She's good. I like her, actually, a good bit. All right, very good. Thanks today to Dave Neal. Thanks to Patrick Stevens. Thanks to Ryan Ripken and Bradley Bozeman, who you're about to hear from. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the...
Jeff Probst, James Blake, and Courtney Cox are all going to be on Fallon.
Tab at glennclarkradio.com. Tomorrow on the program, after we had all those today... Drew. Yeah, that's what we got.
Some are going to argue that's better.
Oh? Like your brother?
Yes, he probably would.
That's the scary part about that. All right. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, the Costas Inn, Leading Edge Auto Body, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Nick's Fish House, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com, countysports.zone. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Tuesday evening. Go Maryland baseball, go Loyola and Johns Hopkins women, and go UMBC or Mount St. Mary's lacrosse. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. Had to do it a little bit earlier on this morning, but we'll always make time for our friend Bradley Bozeman right here on GCR. Man, you guys know how much I love our next guest. Of course, he was a regular with us. He and his wife, Nikki, who I hope is around somewhere that we can at least say hello to because you know how much I love her, too. And he this week announced his retirement from the NFL. He is former Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman and just plain good dude, Mr. Bradley Bozeman. And he's back with us now here on GCR. Bradley, what's up, man? It's so good to see you. Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a while, so I'm glad to hop back on.
Hey, man. I don't even have the words, dude, for how happy I am for you, for your family. I guess when did you know? When did you know, okay, I'm good. I don't need to go put myself through this anymore. I'm all right.
Yeah, Nikki and I, we had been talking about it for a little while now. Like we knew our time was starting to get kind of more towards the end. I always wanted to play 10 years. That was kind of my goal. But, with the last year and this year, just, my body wasn't recovering the way it was. I'd take a shot to the head and, it wasn't, I didn't rebound like I was. So I just thought that, those extra 2 years weren't worth my longevity in life. So, I got 3 kids. I just want to, I want to live for a long time. I want to, play with my grandkids. So, I just I knew it was just time to wrap it up. And, I had a great career. I met some amazing people along the way. Had some amazing people help me along the way. So it's just, man, I'm just so blessed. God just blessed me in so many ways. So I'm just grateful.
Take me back to, 2018, right? And you're a 6th-round pick. And I know that you never doubted your ability whatsoever, but practically speaking, what were your expectations then? Like, what did you think was ahead of you? As much as you say you wanted to play for 10 years, did you believe that was possible at that point? Or are you really like, dude, I just hope I get to play in a game. Like, I hope that I have any opportunity at this point.
Yeah, I was searching for opportunity. I think whenever I got drafted, Coach Harbaugh called me, just saying congratulations, welcome to the team. And I told him, look, Coach, I'm going to put my nose to the ground. I'm not going to bring it up until I'm done. And it's just, that's been my career, just continue to work, continue to do the things I needed to do to put myself in good situations. And the good Lord looked after me. And, again, I had some amazing people help me along the way as well. Marshall Yanda, one of the biggest inspirations to my career, guy helped a young rookie 6th-round draft pick just all the way through until he left. And, then James Hurst and Matt Skur and all those guys, just helped bring me along and help, show me the game and how to play it. So, I'm just so blessed, and it's just, it's so surreal. And I've just had such an outpour of people that come and help me and have reached out and said that, just happy for me. And, but no, it's been an amazing ride.
I feel like it's unique for linemen in a way that it isn't maybe at other positions where typically, now I know you, right? Like, and you're never going to be the smallest dude. Like, it's just not going to work that way. But I feel like most linemen, when you retire, like the first thing they do is say, I'm taking some of this weight off. Like, I can't have my body carry this around. And when you do that, like, that's it. Like, it's over. You can't decide a year from now, like, oh, you know what? I really want to go play again. Did you have to go think through all of that? Is that part of the thought process for you?
Yeah, for sure. Nikki, we've taken a couple weeks off for we're not going to jump right into it, but I hope to lose 50 to 70 pounds. So, like I said, longevity wise, you can't carry around 330 pounds. Like it just doesn't, it's not practical. So, here, I think next Monday, we're starting our little weight loss journey. And, so we'll keep you guys updated.
So wait a second.
Hopefully it goes well.
So you mean to tell me that this won't involve you going back to the steakhouse in Amarillo and downing the 72-ounce filet in the next couple of, because I thought that maybe there might be a path post-football to maybe the Major League Eating Tour or something like that, because I do believe that was, with no disrespect to anything you've done in football and championships, I do believe that was your finest hour.
Yeah, that was a pretty good hour, but I think I'm hoping those days are behind me. So, unless it's one rare occasion for charity or something like that, I hope those days are behind me.
Bradley Bozeman is with us here on GCR after announcing his retirement from the NFL. Bradley, I wish it would have been entirely in Baltimore, not just for selfish reasons because we like you so much, but because, you're a hell of a player. Do you think about maybe how it might have been different had it not been Baltimore? When we talk about this organization that has given undrafted guys the same opportunity as drafted guys that go later in the draft, do you feel like being able to do this for damn near a decade, it might not have been the same had you ended up or started with a different organization?
Completely agree. Completely agree with that. Baltimore's that hard-nosed, gritty team that, I kind of my scheme fit into very well. So, this league's a lot about opportunities and a lot about the place where you're drafted into. Or go into and have that opportunity to go and showcase your abilities. Because me going to a fully passing team, that does not showcase my ability to go to a place like Baltimore to be able to go run the ball downhill, set the rushing record, do all those crazy things. Without Baltimore, I'm not sitting where I'm at, I don't think. So I'm so grateful for Baltimore. I've loved my 4 years there. I would have loved to finish my career there, but we all know the unfortunate part of this is it's a business. So, but it's just been such a blessing and such an amazing journey. I think God's placed me exactly where he wanted me every single step of the way.
When Greg Roman got the job in New York, did you think at all about all right, maybe I go run it back one more time with him? Maybe I just keep this thing going a little bit longer?
No, like mine was more health concerns than anything.
Yeah.
So it's if I wanted to go off of pride, I'm sure I could have mustered up a couple more years. But just thinking long term and thinking just about my kids and my family, I think it's the best decision for me to wrap it on up.
So Bradley, you obviously you and I have talked a lot over the years about the work that you and Nikki have done, just helping people right here in our community, all over the country, going on tour and doing that stuff. Can I assume that part of making this decision is that you're looking forward to doing more of that and what you guys want to do moving forward to help make this world a better place?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a big plus for us. We're excited to get back in our hometown and help any way we can here. We started back in October with some food drives, so we're excited just to continue to build on that and kind of start expanding and kind of see where that takes us. So we've been able to do it in Charlotte very successfully. We were able to do it in Baltimore very successfully, and then we were starting it in LA, and we had been doing it very well for about a year and a half. So it's been such a great journey. So many people help us along the way on that as well, and we're so blessed to have been in so many great communities to help us all across the board.
That's really cool, man, and we will always, forever, eternally support what you guys do because you're special that way. I assume. Because I know you guys now, I remember you guys playing with my kids and you lifting my kids up. That night we were all hanging out at Chick-fil-A with Mo, which remains one of the most special nights that I've ever been a part of. And I get a little emotional just thinking about it, Bud. But you now with kids, can I assume you're probably not going back to fifth wheel life at this point? That has come and gone.
Maybe as a weekend warrior type thing, but not in a living aspect. So that was a great experience of just me and Nikki and the two dogs living in the camper, but with 3 kids and still 2 dogs. No, we're definitely out of the camper life living anyways.
All right, so get us caught up on so you have 3 kids. How old are they, and how much of a joy has that been? Knowing what a joy it was to watch you play with other kids. How much of a joy has it been for you?
Oh, it's been amazing. So we have Brody, Bailey, and Boone. Brody's 3, Bailey will be 2 in April, and then Boone is 4 months old. And it's just been so amazing, just seeing those kids grow and develop. And my son, running out on the football field pregame, and my daughter following right behind him, and then Boone just he's kind of chilling out with it, but. It's been so amazing and such a great journey, and I'm so blessed, and God's blessed me in so many ways with 3 amazing kids and an amazing wife, and a mother. She's such a great mother and so caring, and just does everything that needs to be done on a daily basis to make sure our family stays afloat. So it's just been so great. They're awesome. Brody got a big boy bed last night, first night in the big boy bed.
Nice.
So a little Spidey and Friends bed theme. So it was a great night last night. He woke up this morning, his thing turned green, he came and hopped in bed with us. It was awesome.
That's so cool, man. Wait a second now, given who their parents are, has Ozzy already attempted to scout the boys? Has he already attempted to say the sons of Bradley and Nikki, 2 incredibly high level athletes, I need to know now if we can't already start thinking about them one day down the road?
that'll be their journey to ride. So I'm not going to proclaim anything for them. So but they're all big kids. My daughter's really tall, my son's a tank, and then my youngest, he's already big. So but they're it'll be their journey to ride. So I'm excited and look forward to seeing how their lives develop and what they decide to do with it. So
I should ask. I genuinely don't know. You never know when somebody's on the other side of the ball. Did you in either spot ever get to know Jesse Minter much at all? Did you have much of any connection with him, either with the Chargers or years ago in Baltimore?
Yeah, both actually. Jesse, he's an amazing man. He's going to do such great things for Baltimore. I was so excited for him when he got the head coaching job. So I think he's going to be great. He's got a great just personality and mindset, and he wants to win. He's a winner, so it's exciting to see, and I'm excited for Baltimore for sure.
Can you, because I feel like a lot of people have talked about this, and obviously the Nick Saban, the Harbaugh way, the style. A lot of people have talked about Jesse and how similar he is to Mike McDonald in this modern way approaching coaching where maybe there's like a little bit less like screaming and yelling and like a little bit more kind of meeting young guys where they are. Do you know a little bit of that? And what do you make of that sort of change that's maybe coming to modern football coaching?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think they're both kind of in that aspect where they meet players where they are. They're not screaming, yelling. They're not, shouting across the field and this, that, and the other. They're really trying to develop people. And I think that's one of the biggest things, the culture that we're in and we've developed, some of those guys can't take that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of those guys can't stomach it, and it's just one of those changes that happen. So, I think I've seen it's been much more, it's been better received from every player across the board in that mindset rather than the screaming and yelling. Because, at the end of the day, like player or coach, everybody's there to win. They're always there to get better. No one's messing up to mess up on purpose.
Right.
Everyone is battling their balls off to try to make sure that they get their assignment done because their assignment dictates their job. So I don't think anybody there's no one cussing themselves more than the player that messed it up. So
I appreciate that. How do we get Marshall through? He got to the Final Seven this year. He was right on the doorstep, right? Like, what message do these guys need to hear to understand this dude's greatness and that he needs to be enshrined in Canton?
Man, just turn on the film. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, I was shocked when he wasn't on the first ballot. That it really shocked me. I thought he was definitely going in, but he's continued to he's just done everything through his career. 13 seasons? Is that right?
Yeah.
13 seasons and just absolutely crushed it the entire way through. Watching the guy on film, you can't replicate what he did or what he does. The athleticism, the grit, the toughness, everything. That guy, he is a walking example of what a Hall of Famer is. So, but like I said earlier, he was one of the biggest inspirations in my career, and just helped me along and really helped me show me how to be a pro. So.
And truly a psychopath on top of it. Like, truly.
On the field.
Right, exactly right. Oh, no, away from the field, he's the most normal dude you'll ever know. Well, other than the taser story. Like, that one was kind of crazy. But
I would have done the same thing. Like, if someone offered me $4,000 to get tased,
right,
I'm in.
Right? Like,
right now. Like, tase me.
You got to worry about playing football. Go right ahead, man. That's the way it's going to go. Oh, my God, dude. Bradley, I can't tell you, right? Like, I said it last night before you and I talked. Y'all are special in a way that, like, it's hard because we meet a lot of wonderful people, right? Like, we meet – I'm blown away constantly by the time that I get to spend with athletes that care. But you guys are a different type of special. And the way that you've been committed – to just being good people. It seems like such a simple thing, but the message of like, hey, let's just be like nice and kind to each other and, take care of other people, not bully each other. Like, it seems like it should be so simplistic, but it's so appreciated. And I hope that you know how much it meant to me to help spread your message and to be around you guys the way that you were. And I can't wait to see how you guys are going to keep changing the world, man, because you are a different not everybody is like you and Nikki. Like, everybody could learn a lesson from the two of you and the way that you go about, the way that you do things. And I hope you know how grateful I am for that.
Well, I really appreciate it. That was very kind of you to say. It's as simple as treat others how you'd like to be treated. Just go in and try to make your difference. Try to use your platform and try to make that ripple. Just throw the rock, man. You gotta throw the rock in the pond to make that ripple. So, I'm just, like I said, I'm just so blessed and been helped out along the way by so many amazing people, you guys included. And there's no other way to say it, but God gave me all this. This is God given. It's not, it's nothing that I did. It's nothing that anything is. I've been very blessed. So I'm just thankful to God. So
I appreciate that, man. And I'm also I'm grateful for everything you did for Mo too. And like I really do. I get very emotional when I think about that, brother. But what you guys did for Mo was really special, my man. Like, really.
Talking about an impact, Mo. God.
Yeah.
Mo was special. He opened my eyes to so many things, and he was just so impactful. And Nikki and I still talk about him this day. meeting him, and there was another kid, Collier, in Charlotte. Just kind of same thing. Just dealt a crappy hand, but man, did they see the world in such a way that many people can't. And it was truly special. So, I'm so thankful to be able to meet the Gaba family and Mo especially. He saw the world like no other. But just truly a special kid.
Before I start completely balling, I'm going to tell you I love you, and I thank you for taking the time for us, brother. Bradley Bozeman, you're the best, man. Happy for you. Please tell Nikki we love her, and we can't wait for what's next. Look forward to talking to you about it, whatever it is, man. Thank you for doing this.
Awesome. Thank you.